Hello everybody, Captain Bravo back with another deck profile for you. This one is for Yugioh. Great rush deck, one that's I'm quite fond of. The 6 Samurai deck. Mine is pretty basic, kind of run in the middle, but still very effective deck. So pretty much the basis of the 6 Samurai. They are warrior monsters. They are there to swarm the field. Originally, had no extra deck originally, but then released, of course, with Legendary 6 Samurai Shien, Bossman Synchro. It became mostly a Synchro deck, and then now can be used to make Xyz. For example, with the release of the Trial deck, where we got Shadow of the 6 Samurai Shien. Alright, so like I said, 6 Samurai, they swarm the field, and they also are there to negate things. Alright, for example, starting with the extra deck, Legendary 6 Samurai Shien, level 5, needs 2 6 Samurai to summon. Now this guy once per turn can negate any spell or trap card. So that is just awesome. Now, like many 6 Samurai, he also has the ability, if he would be destroyed, you can destroy another 6 Samurai on the field. So Shien is the boss man. He's pretty easy to get out. I'm going to explain that later. Usually want to run about 2. I run 3 because I've just made it easy to make him. Since this deck is so good at making level 5s, you can also run. This is not necessary, but it can be okay if you need another 5. Armades, Keeper of Boundaries. When he is attacked or is attacking, your opponent can activate any cards or effects until the end of the damage step. So it's like Ancient Gears, only for lots of effects. Now, main staple for any 6 Samurai Synchro deck is Naturia Beast and Naturia Barkion, level 5 and a level 6 tuner monster. Now, these fit into the negation, and with the so some 6 Samurai are Earth, so they try to fit in with that. Now, Naturia Beast, when a spell is activated, you can send 2 cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard in order to negate that spell. Barkion negates traps by banishing 2 cards from the graveyard. Any 2 cards. Now another level 6 you can run in the deck that's pretty cool. Yugioh Guardian. He was gone for a while, now he's back. If he destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, so unfortunately this will not work on pendulums, so sorry guys. Destroys a monster, sends it to the graveyard, you can steal that monster and put it in your field in defense mode. Now, although with the release of Stardust Spark Dragon, Stardust Dragon's starting to become a little obsolete, I still like to run him in a 6 Samurai because it's trying to revive my old stop everything trick, having Great Shogun Shien, Stardust Dragon, and Legendary 6 Samurai Shien on the field. Of course, we all know what Stardust Dragon does. When an effect would happen that would destroy cards in the field, tribute Stardust Dragon, get it back during the end phase, negate the destruction effect. Now for any warrior synchro deck, Colossal Fighter is great to run. He gains 100 attack for each warrior monster in the graveyard, and if this guy is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can take a warrior monster, including him, unless the ruling has changed since I last checked, and special summon to the field. Now for Xyz monsters, one great one is to Heroic Champion Excalibur, takes 2 level 4 monsters. You can discard to attach 2 Xyz materials to make his attack 4,000 until the end of your opponent's next turn. I don't have that to show you, but it's cool. Another thing that requires warriors, Blade Armor Ninja. Now, even though this card's effect works on ninjas, you can use it in any warrior deck because it itself is a ninja. For its effect, you detach 1 Xyz material, target a ninja, it can attack twice during that battle phase. So it can still work on itself. Cool one if you can't make something else from your extra deck is Shadow of 6 Samurai Shien. He can take a 6 Samurai with 2,000, less than 2,000 attack, and its original attack becomes 2,000 until the end phase. That's pretty nice. So moving on to monsters. The original boss man of the deck was Great Shogun Shien. You don't really need to run him as much now, but I'd still say run 1 or 2. Because if you've got 2 or more 6 Samurai on the field, you can special summon him from the hand. And while he's on the field, this is really awesome. As long as he's on the field, your opponent can only activate one spell or trap card per turn. Now, the ruling used to be that if you also have Legendary Six Samurai on the field, then the two Xians, then that one card that they can activate for a turn, you can negate that. But now the ruling has been changed. Even with the two of them on the field, your opponent can still activate another card afterwards if you negate the first one. Now, the main tuner for the deck is Kagemusha the Six Samurai. You don't usually end up using his effect, which would be you can tribute this guy, or change the target to this guy if a card is targeting a Six Samurai. You're going to use him to Synchro Summon right away. The card you want to use with him to get out your Shien is Legendary Six Samurai Kageki. This guy, when he's normal summoned, you can special summon a level 4 or lower Six Samurai from their hand. So you can use that to get out your Kagemusha and make Shien right away. Because you want to make Shien as fast as you can so you can start negating things. Also, even though his original attack is 200, it becomes 17 if there's another face-up Six Samurai on the field. Now, another beautiful thing you can use, Legendary Six Samurai Kizan. This guy is very important. You can just special summon him as long as there's another Six Samurai on the field. So you can use him with Kagemusha to make Barkion. Now, if you have no monsters in the field and your opponent does have monsters, you can special summon Elder of the Six Samurai. Then normal summon a Kagemusha, you can make that beast. Or, make another Shien. Other good cards you can run are Hand of the Six Samurai and a Legendary Six Samurai Nishi. They are not as necessary, but still good cards to have. You can also run a Grandmaster of the Six Samurai. That's a level 6 monster that special summons as long as there's another Six Samurai. He's destroyed by a card effect. You can add a Six Samurai from graveyard to hand. Alright, so like any Synchro deck, this deck's got great spell support. For one, always run a Rhoda. Reinforcement of the army. Search out the Six Samurai you need. And if you're like me and you don't really have a lot of tuners to put in your deck, you can run a Warrior Returning Alive so you can get that Kagemusha back. And to search it out, along with Kageki, run 2 or 3 Shien Smoke Signals, which will let you add a level 3 or lower Six Samurai monster from your deck to your hand. So that gets you either Kagemusha or Kageki. Now, another great card to play, which lets you get some cards in your hand, Six Samurai United. Now, when you normal or special summon a Six Samurai monster, you place 1 Bushido counter on this card, max of 2. You can send it to the graveyard, draw a card for each Bushido counter on it. Another card that uses Bushido counters is Shien's Dojo. And you can send this card to the graveyard to special summon from the deck a Six Samurai monster or Shien monster, as long as they're an effect monster, whose total level is less than or equal to the number of Bushido counters. Last couple cards to show you for traps. Since this deck is about negating, you can run Musakami Mugatama. Yeah. As long as you have a Six Samurai on the field, it's a counter trap. You can negate and destroy any card that tries to destroy something in the field. And like I said, if you got a problem with not as many tuners, you got to get that Kagemusha back on the field. This card is your best friend. It's double-edged sword technique. This will let you target 2 Six Samurai monsters in your graveyard, and then you can special summon them in attack position. Now, during the end phase, you do have to destroy those monsters, and you take damage equal to their attack. However, if you use those monsters to synchro summon, they're off the field now at the end phase, so you're not going to take the damage. I'm running 2 or 3 of those. So, bottom line, that's a Six Samurai. It is a great rush deck. If you set it up right, you can get an OTK easily. And it is also a great deck for field control if you can build it right. So again, as I say every time, if you have any ideas for any videos, so let me know in comments below or message me on Facebook. I do videos on Buddy Fight, Vanguard, Force of Will, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Pokemon. So, have a great night. Captain Bravo signing off.